Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday. Did you have a good day today? I did. Wait a minute. What's going on with this? Yeah. Okay. I had a great time counting squirrels, y'all. Easily distracted. So sorry. But this has been a good Monday for me. I have been at it. I hadn't left my studio pretty much all day. Got here around 8:15, 8:30, and just been rocking and rolling ever since. So it's been a good Monday. Not your typical Monday that some people have, but it's been great. I hope that you had a great day too. Listen, this week is Juneteenth week. We want to make sure we're getting out there to our activities and that we're celebrating Juneteenth. That's this Thursday, guys. Listen. Go out there on the websites, check out your local city, see what's going on with the itinerary and the agendas, because every city, I'm sure, has some great events that will be taking place this Thursday. So I'm certainly going to be getting out there, see what's going on. And I may go live in some of these areas. I may just do that. Probably will. It's going to be fun. So make sure you get out there, guys. And I'm going to grab my earrings from Earful Earrings and Accessories. That's Sheer Lindsay. She has some great earrings, guys, and they are thebomb.com. Did I say that? Is that still popular? I don't know. It sounds good to me. So I'm going to be grabbing some of her earrings for Juneteenth. It is beautiful. If you have not been able to check out some of her earrings, check her out. Sheer Lindsay. Check those things out, guys. The earrings are great and they are poppy. Vanda, how are you tonight? So glad that you're coming inside the Ladies Room. This is one of our faves, guys. She's always coming in every single Monday promptly at 7:00 p.m. So we're so glad she's here. Vonda, do me a favor, my dear. Go ahead and share this live out with your network of friends. Let them know that the Ladies Room Talk Show, the door is wide open. I want to give a big shout out to our guest on last week. That was Dr. Nina Addison. If you missed that show, please go back and check her out. She is a comedian. She is a coach. She's a counselor. She's a mentor. She's a sister friend. She is all of those things. And let me tell you, so authentic. She gave her testimony on last week, and it was really, really good. And listen, she also is one of our great and amazing and fantastic and phenomenal radio talk show hosts for ICU Radio 97.3. You want to go out there and check that station out, guys. First full week, we're going into our second week of these awesome hosts being on the station, and they are really rocking and rolling. On this morning, I believe we had Ashley come in at 11 a.m. We also had Dr. Nina, who came in at 5:30 p.m. And then we have Leslie Tops that's going to be coming in later on this evening. So these girls are rocking and rolling today. We also have some more lineups coming up, and we want to make sure you go out there to our website and check out our Facebook page. If you have not been over there, go over there now. ICU Radio. Hit like and follow and share with a friend, because I'm telling you, it's the best jazz and gospel station. The best is rocking and rolling. Tonight, we have another great guest that's going to be on the station as well. His name is Jamal Truth Hurts Walker. I'm sure you've heard of him. Guys, he has 1 million followers. So if he has 1 million followers, over half of my following is on his. So I'm sure this won't be new for you guys. Guys, we're going to bring him on in the room. Jamal, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just honored and glad that you're in the room. I mean, you are what I call a phenomenon. You rocking and rolling out there, and you have some really great things to say on your platform. So I'm honored that you're on the show tonight. How was your day?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm blessed today. I woke up today.
Right. Our feet on the ground. We're blessed.
Yes, we're moving.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, listen, let's tell our listening audience a little bit about you, what you're all about, your platform. How can people find you on social media?
Okay, my name is Jamal Truhurst Walker. I'm from Columbus, Mississippi. I've been here all my life. Most people can find me on Facebook, Jamal Truhurst Walker. TikTok, same thing. Instagram, YouTube. I keep my stuff the same name, so you always can find me anywhere, all over. You can Google me. I'm right there. You know, and I've been doing this for like 4+ years. And what made me start doing it is when I grew up, I just had my mama. I ain't had no daddy, you know what I'm saying? But my mama showed me love. And I got the same characteristics of my mama. I'm all about, loving people, talking to people, bonding with people, and I'm a good listener. It's one thing I do when people inbox me when they want to talk to me, I listen. I don't interrupt them. I can always find out what's wrong with somebody if I listen to them. That's the only way. It's like a teacher. You have to listen to the teacher and understand the subject. You'll never know anything if you don't be quiet. So I have to be quiet and understand my people. Cause a lot of people got a lot of stuff going on from relationship, marriages, you know, people dealing with pain from the past they haven't got over. So I open the door for them to come in, they can have a seat, and I would be right there to give them the info they need so they can walk away feeling relieved, from all the stress that they've been through in their life. So I open the door for people like that,
You know
no
what, Jamal?
judgment.
You want to tell you something else I see that you do too? You do
Mm,
real talk.
yeah,
So I have noticed that you don't sugarcoat everything, and everything is not going to be a little pat on the back and you can move on. I have
no,
witnessed you get in some folks, but that's the tough love that you
it
get.
is.
So I like the balance that you give. I mean, you're giving the love and you're giving the pat on the back. So if you have to pull, put your big girl panties on, if you will, lack of a better term, or
Yeah,
pull your pants up by the bootstraps, you're saying that too. And that's what I like about your platform. And I think
right.
that's what people come and they trust you. You provide that platform to be real because people want real. So I love how you really balance that really, really nicely. And even though you get the folks, they're like, did he just get me told? I think he did, but it feels okay.
Oh yeah, it gets like that. It get that way. Sometimes it get pretty bad for me when the comment section. I just kind of be quiet and let it just flow. I don't want to argue with people. I just want them to see things that haven't been told in a long time that people forgot. We forgot the grandma way, granddaddy way. We forgot the old way, and you trying to bring it to the new generation. It look crazy to them because you never been hurt, you never been told things you don't understand it.
Mhm.
So I try to break it down where they can really understand what I'm saying.
Right. Well, Jamal, I mean, you've been doing this for a minute. I mean, I know when I first started in social media, I remember my first time that I went live ever. And Facebook had just come out with the live component.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to come out like everybody else. I wanted it to be strategic and I wanted to make sure that I was doing it purposeful. Do you
Right.
remember your first live?
Ooh, that was bad. Like in 2020, when I was just really, I was in debt about political stuff, medicine, doing COVID-19. I knew a lot about herbs and stuff and different oils and stuff, and I was teaching people that. And a lot of crime, I was always in tune to. I try to warn people these things are going on, keep people with a lot of insight
Right.
so they can follow up with me. And I gave my opinion on about a lot of things.
Mhm.
And then when I used to do comedy and stuff, it wasn't working. I did music. I'm like, no. But when I did this, God took me up like, this is where you're supposed to be. All
Yeah.
that stuff there, that is not you. You
Mhm.
can't, you don't try to create something in you that God had placed in you. So it's never gonna work until you really go where he wants you to, and now you see the benefits of it. And that's where I'm supposed to be. He put me in that position and he got me rooted right there. So it's hard for me to break away from it because it just people need love and I can't break away from it. It's hard. So I gotta do what I gotta do to you do for people out there that really need the help right now.
Right. And you're true. You're so true. I know that I have friends who are therapists and counselors. They stay booked. They don't have any openings
Mhm.
because there's so many people who are seeking assistance. And I'm glad that they are. And
Right,
so, but everybody can't get to a counselor. Everybody can't afford counseling and therapy and things. So they need a Jamal, the
right.
truth hurts Walker. They
They do.
need that person to be out there and to speak the truth and to be that outlet for them so that they can navigate through life's journey, if you will. I know that you mentioned something that was really key. A lot of people have a tendency to do things that's not really in their wheelhouse. They just kind of see, well, somebody else is doing, let me try that. Or you may have a gift to do, but is it your call? And we need to use our gifts, but just our gifts doesn't really open that door to our call per se. And so you have actually, you are funny, you are hilarious. And and you do have these other gifts that you were trying to do, But God said, look, operating your genius, operating your natural gifting. And it's okay. I mean, KFC, I don't know if you know his story, but he talked about all of these things that he failed. I mean, he failed miserably before he was able to tap into the home cooked meals where you
Right.
have your cheese and your not taste salad, rice
Right.
and mashed potatoes and all this other
Right.
stuff. But he had to try his hand on a lot of things. And something you said, Jamal, which is key. And so A.G. Gaston, who was a profound businessman here in Birmingham, one of his sayings that he has is one that really resonates to me. I always refer to it. And so that is find a need and fill it. So you've been able to master that. You have found a need. People need to hear the truth. People
Right.
want to have help. People need to be encouraged. People need to be motivated. And you've been able to, hey, we're in a space right now that people need this. And so
Right.
you've been able to jump into that need and fill it. It's doing very well for you now.
Right. It is.
Mm.
It really is, to the point. I have people that going through so much, to the point it gets to me that it be people that almost about to take their life, man. And I had those episodes too, where some of my people said, your video saved my life. I got about a narcissistic relationship, or it helped me get a breakthrough there. And all my followers, I get to them. I'm more like a uncle to them. They always call me like or big brother, or you like the father I never had. And even talking to young people, you know what I'm saying? I can reach to them because I've been young before. I didn't did crazy stuff, and I can tell them what the consequences of it. It's never good when you have your name in a bad way on the streets. And even if you start back doing good, the world holds it over your head. They always gonna hold it over your head. I don't care if you become a pastor 10 years later. If somebody do something and say you did it, they gonna hold it over your head. But we can't just never do that. God got a purpose for you, and God wants you to keep walking. You're gonna have a lot of stumbling blocks, a lot of roadblocks. You're gonna have people saying you can't. Sometimes the devil uses people to see how strong you will. And God know you're stronger, but you got to pull it out of yourself. You got to pull it out of your spirit. God didn't give you the spirit of fear. You know. So one thing about it, when I come out there, I come out there in full force. Like a lion surrounded by hyenas. I know for a fact, I know what to do with the hyenas. So when they start coming, so I know what to do. The king of the jungle. You got a lot of, enemies out there. Even though you tell the truth, there's some enemies that don't like you. They don't like what I'm saying. They don't. I have more guys hate what I'm saying than women.
Right.
And I started to try to balance it. But even if I do balance it, it's always going to lean back over something wrong. So I still keep going, even though the negative comments against me or whatever they try to do. Even I done lost pages before. Back then, I lost a whole TikTok page because somebody got mad. They reported me. I was on there helping people that was starving, homeless, not bragging, but I was trying to help people get help, and I was doing it. But some people were not really, they were lying in and doing it. So I said, well, let me change it. I reinvented myself, and I said, well, I'm going to go through 3 TikTok pages I got. And I run through Facebook in my profile business page. Then I got Instagram. Then I got YouTube. See, I'm juggling them by myself because I feel like I know what needs to be said on each platform to people. And when I go live, they jump in like, like, what are you going to say today? And I know that what people need to hear because I see something wrong with the world. And I go back and say, no, don't do this. It may sound sweet, but it's bitter. It ain't good for your soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have to think about it. When Jesus walked the earth, he certainly didn't have a bunch of fans in the earth. He had people who were
Yeah.
jealous of him. He had people that didn't like him, and then people who didn't like him because they simply could not understand him. And so
Right.
there are a lot of people out there that don't like you. They don't have a reason to not like you. They just don't understand you because they don't know you. And because they don't know you, if they can't put a label on you, then there must be something wrong with you. And so
Right.
yeah, so and especially I remember TD Jake said something I thought was really profound years ago that I heard him say. He said, with the call that he has accepted on his life, now these people are going to come against you. And he said he had to get to the point to realize that it comes with the territory.
Right.
You know, you can't get in front of here and you can't really, you lay your life down. You're on the front line. When we get out here and we do the things that we're doing, we are on the front line. We are stepping out and saying, hey, you know what? It doesn't really matter what folks say. I don't have thin skin. I have tough skin. So I know when I open this mic, I'm opening myself up to a lot of stuff.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
Yep.
You know,
It happens. It is what it is. But when you have the courage of your convictions, and like you said, you have all these hyenas around you, but you're the king of the jungle. So it really doesn't matter how many is around you. At the end of the day, you're the king of the jungle. And so we all, if we're accepting the call to our lives, if we truly accepted it, I mean, there's no demon in hell that can stop you from where you need to go. You have to do. And so I like that, but we have to encourage these same people who have decided to step out that become weary and well doing. The Bible says don't become weary, but it happens. But then you have a Jamal out there that's saying, look, I know some things going to be coming at you, but you got to know you're king of the jungle. You have to know your position. You have to know you have the power that you need in order to push through. And so when you understand that, then you got the power to push through to your breakthrough.
Yes. Yes. And another thing I tell people too, there's one thing I'm gonna give people is give people a message about. I'm gonna say this right here. To keep from going through anything, don't allow people to do anything to you.
Come on.
Because when we allow so much, they get comfortable and think they got control over us.
Right.
So when a person think they got full control, then they think you always gonna be that same person. But when you get strength enough to speak up, that's when they lose power, and then they gonna get worse. That's when they gonna pull different cards out to use on you. You know, they're gonna pull a different kind of game, they're gonna pull a different kind of hurt. It's gonna be verbal abuse or mental abuse. Then they go do emotions. And then when they can't get that, then here comes the physical. And I tell people, it always happens like this to people. Is that when we fix it out like the way God wants us to, if we pray hard enough and our faith is strong, God will always open your mind up and show you some things. You know, like, hold on, I see from one red flag, I see that red flag. Hold on. Just because it's small, that don't mean it can't be big. Come on. Right. Start off with one drop of rain, here come the rest of it. Then there's a flood. You take one brick and go the rest of the bricks. We built one house, start off one brick, and we go one brick, it starts to build up. And sometimes those mountains get so big, we gotta have enough faith to say, God, I want that mountain to be moving, it shall be moved.
Right.
Strong, you know, faith of a grain of mustard seed. You can be about to give up, and God come right through. And you gotta exit. But don't go back. You know, when I leave the house, if I'm going to a destination, you think I'm gonna look back? I ain't looking back because I know where I'm going.
Right.
So we look back to like Lot's wife. God said, don't look back on Sodom and Gomorrah. I didn't burn that up. It's something there that wasn't ready for you. God will take you away from the fire so you can be saved. But don't look back. She looked back and guess what happened? Yeah. Consequences when you look back. So that was a message God was telling people that if you look back at something you left, it might look good. It might look good to you. And you go back, then you be like, man, I really thought they changed. I really thought it was going to be different. But sometimes you just move forward past it. Because you go back, God going to let you sit there for a while. Like, hey, I saved you, but you went back. So you got to deal with it until you learn your lesson. And then that's when you open the door for you to come back out. You know, some people got to stand on their principles. You know, God don't want you hurt, but sometimes people hurt themselves. Sometimes we put ourselves in the storm.
Right.
Storm going to come, but sometimes we create them in our own life. Because the decision that we making, we think is right, but it's wrong. But when it starts getting worse, you can't sit there and wait till the wound gets well enough for you to deal with it. Hold on now. I mean, if they got something broken in them, I got to see what's inside of me that's making me sit here with this. You know, sometimes this love, you know, it can hurt you. Right. Because you can feel so much, but you ain't getting nothing to yourself. So if I don't get nothing to myself, how can I rebuild myself when they gone? How can I do it? When I think about what they did, I can't think about what I need to do to me to get myself together.
You know, Jamal, you said that it made me think about COVID-19. And I remember when COVID-19 hit and all the churches closed down. Something that happened that none of us ever thought that would happen. So, you know, the doors of the church be open. You always think it's always going to be open. Who thinks the church Out of all places, you will never be able to get there. And so what I thought about was, after that happened, it was a lot of people that committed suicide. It was a lot of people went into depression because they couldn't get to their church. They couldn't get to their pastor, and even pastors. I heard pastors kill themselves because they couldn't get to their congregation, right? Because they were hinged on that. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because some pastors, not talking to all pastors, I'm a minister, not talking to all ministers, but some pastors created a codependent congregant. And by creating a codependent congregant, these congregants felt like they can only get to God through their pastors. They can only get healed if their pastors lay hands on them. And so that is wrong, because we get to a place to where now we can't get to church. So now what happens to the congregant? Because now their mindset is they can't move, breathe, or even get healed apart from their pastors.
Right.
So, dude, it's wrong. Number one, because as pastors, as ministers, we are to build congregants to learn how to seek God for themselves, how to know they can lay hands on themselves, because it's based on their belief. Now, out of an act of faith, when you join together, if 2 or 3 are gathered, however, it's my faith that moves God's hands, not yours. It's what I believe. And so, and you said it right. We have to get to a point to where we have to move apart from people. People will be for you one day, and tomorrow, if you tell them no, they're against you.
Yes.
They're against you. So you got to know God for yourself. You got to build that relationship with Christ for yourself. Pastors are needed. Preachers are meant. I'm a minister. We are needed, but we are not to create codependent congregants so that they depend on pastors and ministers to get their salvation. That is not the ecclesia. That's another podcast.
Yes, and we tell people sometimes they got to get on their knees and be real with them. Usually, like we talk to our family members about problems, talk to your father.
Right.
And my kid got a problem, they come talk to Daddy, I got this going on. Somebody been picking on me, or I got this going on in school. If any little thing, you tell them, I got to be that leader. So God, that leader, the shepherd, you the sheep.
Right.
Like we out there, we got a bunch of people, that are a bunch of wolves in sheep clothing. We know them by their fruit. Some people just riding behind the scene, behind closed door, but in person, they like this and that. And once I see somebody doing something different here, and then they fake over here, I'm like, I can't do that.
Right.
I can't ride with you on both sides. I gotta be on this side.
Right.
Because when I'm driving, I'm in my lane. How do I look? You going this way, I go in your lane. I'm gonna stop you, I'm gonna crash with you, and one of us gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So I got to stay in my lane and keep going. Because even though somebody in front of me moving fast, I still got to be patient until it's my time to keep on going fast. Right. Some people be in a hurry to get past people. Where you going? You ain't going nowhere but to the house. But sometimes people go too fast and they slip and fall, and now they want to go back and say, look, God, I didn't. But God wants you, God gonna deal with you. Because when you get by yourself, that's when your daddy talk to you.
Right.
See, when you your friend, God can't talk to you around the noise, the music playing in the club, you and your friend talk. No, God gets you by yourself. And when you sit by yourself, you start thinking like, you start feeling that. You feel it in your heart, like, that was wrong. Man, I apologize. God, I'm sorry. Because that's you. That's your connection with him. When people have no sympathy, that's a problem. No compassion, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem for me. So that's why I try to be that what God want me to be in front of these people. And that's what kind of like. I lead by example on outside here and on social media. So people can see me on the outside, he the same person we see online. I just know how to carry myself in public as a man, father, husband. I know how to carry myself. So if anybody don't care if I'm out shopping, if somebody stop me and say, hey, I got to talk to you about something, stop right there. Because I don't know what's on this person's mind. What if I turn them away? They go home and blow their head off.
Right.
What if I don't give them a hug and say, it's going to be all right? Call me and hit me up. You can talk to me. I tell people they always can inbox me. I don't give it 30 of them. I remember when I was on, when I first blew up, it was like 2023 when it really started off. I kept going consistent. I looked at my message. I had several people, like 20 people, 30 people. And all those people, They will inbox me with different problems. Some people I talk for hours to the next day, to the next day. And some of my followers I call and check on them because I'm like that family member that you can call on and talk to. I'm not the one just because he got all these followers on this platform. It changed me. I look at how people change when they got what they wanted from the world. And now they act like everybody owes something. No, we owe everything to God that gave us life every day on this journey. There's no way I could climb that mountain if God didn't give me a push. Because sometimes I get weak in the spirit. Sometimes I get weak in the flesh. But I can't let the devil tempt me and knock me off my platform, knock me off of that light that God gave me. Because it's going to be some dark times where you in a world full of darkness. Because it's going to come when you're the only one with the light. And you got to make sure you're not being influenced to dim your light, to please people. You know, because the devil can see how powerful you is. He want workers too. The devil want powerful people to work for him. So when you walking with God and the devil know you got a powerful voice and a powerful gift and a powerful purpose, he gonna want you on the team. He gonna make you feel like what you're doing ain't worth nothing. He gonna have so many people saying that you nothing, you did. Oh, look at that. You didn't get no views on them. Oh, everybody being negative. That will come with carrying your cross.
Right.
If I'm gonna walk with Jesus, I'm gonna go through what he went through. They're gonna hate you for my name's sake. So even though they hate me, I know what Jesus said. Hey, you walk with me, you're gonna get the same thing. Same was then, same as it is now. So when I'm carrying it, I gotta carry it with a strong arm. Even though it will beat me up, hit me in the head, I still go to the end. And when I get to the end, guess what? Hey, I'm here. I'm okay. And guess what? It's no more stress on me because I know God and laid his hands on me. Because one thing you don't do, when you get outside the will of God and then you up here doing what you want to do for the devil, God take his hands off you. And you don't know how many demons waiting to take you out. You don't know how many demons sitting back, the spirits sitting back and waiting on you to fail. They sit back saying, yeah, when he go out there and cheat, they hoping that my marriage fail. They hoping that I lose my job. They hoping that I fall off and be an alcoholic or a drug addict. They hoping that people go against me one day. Because people wait till people go against you, and here come the whole army of the devil. Because he ain't got nothing for us. Because everything he got is temporary. You know, he here temporary. I want to be eternity, you know, and shine my light on people. I want people to see who I am and that this ain't fake. Been like this for a long time. I've been holding a lot of stuff in to say to a lot of people for a long time. It's been like this. You know, I had this in me, but I had to go through some storms so God can create me. He had to mold me and shape me into this man. Because at the point of time I was young, I wasn't like this. I was out there in the club, I was working, young man here and there, and hang around the wrong people, and I seen how they move, and I didn't move like that. So when I really got by myself and got a family and got what God wanted me to, that's when God gave me, you know, this gift I got, and he gave me this tongue to keep speaking. That's how I move every day, get better.
This is the thing. My pastor is teaching on a series right now on perseverance. And it's so interesting that you will be talking about that now, but he's talking about that. He's teaching us, hey, you got to stay in there and you got to persevere, because at the end of this thing, we're doing not only for us, but we have to do it for the people we're called to. And just like you said, there's going to be opposition. There's going to be things coming against us. But if we stand, I like to say, 10 toes down in the word, if we can do that, then there's no weapon formed against us shall prosper.
Yes.
None at all. If we're where we need to be and we're rooted in that and we're believing that God could do exactly what he said he was going to do. So that's why we have to persevere, even though you mentioned something about a mountain being so tall and so big that it feels like we cannot climb it. It appears to be insurmountable, but we don't have to climb mountains. He said he'll remove it. Sometimes we're trying to climb a mountain that's really just simply meant to be removed. So we do a lot with our hands. We do a lot with our physical exertion. But if we just speak it out of our mouth, be thy removed, and it's gone. So that comes from understanding the word of God and then being confident enough that we can activate that word. When I think about David, bad joker. And so when he talked to the giant, right? He was big and bad with it. He was so cocky with it. Not only did he tell him what he was going to do, he told him how it was going to go out before he did it. And then he did it. See, that's what I call big faith. That's the type of faith I have to have in me. I won't be bad enough to tell you what's going to happen. And then I'm going to execute that thing because I believe enough in God that if I open up my mouth, I don't care how crazy it sounds. I just have a slingshot and a rock.
That's
So
it.
when I pull this thing back, no, you're going down. Period.
Down. Yeah, he did.
Period.
Hey, even everybody else scared to go step. Everybody seen little David, little short dude. Like, how he gonna be this big 10 foot? They say he about 10 foot tall. And
Right.
biblical, that is big to our 10 foot. He was bigger than that. He was a giant. And then he was over there, and everybody was scared of him because his size. But I say, you know what? Nah. Everybody's scared looking back like, I don't want to fight him because he. But David said, no, God already had it. God gave him that purpose. You gonna fight him, but you're gonna beat him. And he think he can whoop you because you're small. But guess what? Sometimes he's gonna take one hit. He don't take one hit. Sometimes take one step and God move. You don't take one time you to step out. That's it. Step out on faith. And David stepped out on faith, took one step. Okay. God lead this rock to where it need to go. God lead it where it need to go. This is all I got. I got one shot to get there. I got one shot to take. Let me take this shot. That's all I got. If that's all you got, it's more than enough.
It's more than enough. And then faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? This David, man, I got to take him out. But but you know what? I'm just going to speak it. Because if I speak it, if I hear it enough, then I'm going to believe that thing. So when he spoke it out, not only did he have to speak it out to encourage himself, but when he said what he said, that dismantled the giant in his own mind.
Mm-hmm.
He thinking, what? This little but man, he ain't nothing. Oh, okay, don't sleep on me now. Don't sleep on this because I'm coming for you. And even the armor that they tried to put on David. I mean, everybody's like, hey, you need to put this on so you can be protected. It was too big for him. It was too big and it was too heavy. You see, sometimes we're putting on things that's not meant for us to put on. And we don't have to have it when we got God. Right. When we have the word. We don't have to have it. So we have to know who we are. We have to know whose we are. And we have to know our purpose. Our purpose is purpose for not only to take the giant down, but for us to be able to come back and read it like right now. For this in our lives to encourage us. If he can do it, certainly we can. Certainly we can.
Amen. Because even my first time was speaking on stage, I had you get cold feet. Right. How to say this? How I'm gonna do it? Sometimes God says he give you the word to say. He give you the word to say. You don't know what to say. All right. Got up there, did it with no problem. Did it twice. Right. So I was like, oh, I got this. So when I really go into when you started speaking, when God is in you, you gonna start saying things right at that moment, right on time that people need to hear. It's gonna flow through you so good. Just like my pastor said, he said, man, when I preach the word, he said, sometimes I get cold feet. Right. But when I get in that word, it got the spirit move you go. Like even when I go live, if I'm speaking to people, it just go. It's no stop. I just go. And I go because I know what I'm going to say. And I already, my pastor always say, pray before you go live. That's and pray after you go live. Because you don't know what's coming. He said, you could be on there talking, somebody drop some crazy in the comment. It might be something to distract you. The enemy going to try it. Mm-hmm. He going to try to use anything to keep you from talking and keep you looking at him. Right. Because somebody getting saved out of this, somebody getting helped out of this. He keep on talking. He gonna save this person from going back to the club or going back to the world. He's saving them. They listen. They sitting there. So everybody he think he got a hold on. God used me to take their grip off. Like too much power. Because the devil can't do no more than God let him. I mean, he really can't do that. He can't really do hardly too much. He can make things fall. He can't touch you. Right. But he can cause things to put you in an emotional situation. Mm-hmm. But when you see them things happen, I'll be like, you know what? I already know it's the enemy. I know it. Sometimes you got to just expose it, call it what it is. It's him. Right. It's just sometimes you think it's me. The enemy trying to see if you're going to quit. If they going to quit and stop. So I just can't stop. I can't even get up early doing it or through the day doing it. I just had a passion to keep going because it's worth, it's worth it, and God put it in me to do it. So that's why anybody that got something that they want to do in their life, you're gonna always have people that close to you say you can't. You ain't gonna have too many saying you can. Because actually what you're doing, they know you're gonna be above a lot of things. You're gonna be above your problem, you're gonna be above the haters, you're gonna be above people that said you couldn't have doubted us. So when you rise up so high, you ain't gonna be able to see the people no more that talk bad about you. You're gonna be up so high, those things gonna be forgotten. Those people be forgotten. You know? So that's why you gotta keep moving, because you ain't gonna think about people when you're busy.
Right. Exactly. It's like light and darkness cannot dwell in the same place.
No.
So, but you have to be prepared for this too. He's changed. He's not like he used to be. Oh, he different. He's different. But you know what? This true transparency, Jamal, you're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to be different because you're being elevated. You've you've exceeded the level to level. Now you're going dimension to dimension. So you have to change. You cannot be the same. It's like you living on Earth, but now you want to relocate to Mars, or you want to relocate to the moon. You cannot be the same way because you're in two different galaxies. The weight is different. The air is different. Everything is different. So as you're being elevated and as you're growing, some people are afraid to grow. Some people are afraid to elevate because they're like, well, I don't want people to think I'm different. You got to be different.
Right.
And who out here said is something wrong with you not being the same person anymore? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with you being different? What's wrong with you elevating your way of thinking, elevating your dress, elevating your posturing? There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, God wants us to consistently become perfected. Will we be perfect? No, but he wants us to continue to be perfected, which means there's going to be some change. There's going to be some elevation in us. One thing I know about roses and tea, both of them, in order to get the essence of both things, pressure has to be applied. So if you want more fragrance from the rose, you got to crush the rose to get the fragrance.
Yes.
If you want to have a robust taste in the tea, you got to put the tea bag in hot water first. And the hotter the water, the more flavor you're going to get. So we can't be afraid of the obvious. We can't be afraid of the opposition that comes against us. We can't be afraid. But just like you said so beautifully, it's designed to stop us. Well, I ain't never been no punk for nobody. Excuse me, but I'm not. So you may knock me down for about 2 minutes. But once I realize what's going on, I'm coming back at you. I'm coming. But I'm coming in his name. I can't come in my own power. Come in my own might, but what I am coming in the matchless name of Jesus Christ. That's how.
Amen. And I'm gonna tell people something. There's plenty of times. I'm gonna tell you. I made a video about this on TikTok. I said, y'all even notice when you finna go live and all of a sudden you get a notification, your phone keep vibrating, or the phone keep going off, or something keep distracting you. That's the enemy working around you, because you finna say something that's worth it. It'd be like when you finna get ready to do something, and you know it's finna benefit you, you're doing the right thing, and you get distracted by something. Sometimes the enemy just do this crazy stuff around you. Like all of a sudden somebody knock your door, and your phone keep going off. I said, okay. Sometimes I put my phone on silent when I go live, because I know, ding, ding. I said, hold on, my phone was not going off before this. I said, all of a sudden now everything just happened. I said, that's the enemy knowing, I already recognize it, so I still keep trying.
Right.
I was trying to go live on TikTok on my phone kept crashing. My app kept crashing. Why I keep crashing? Yeah. I said, I can make a video, but it don't do nothing. But I go to live, it crashes. I said, okay. So I got my other phone. Went live on my other phone. I said, oh no, I'm not stopping. I went live on the other phone. I said, I'm not doing this. I said, you keep on trying to, I've been doing good all last week. Now this week, all of a sudden, I can't go live on this one. But it ain't nothing wrong with my phone now. But I couldn't get my phone, and I still did it. I didn't let that stop me. You know, because the enemy gonna stop you. We look at the enemy in each other, but it's the Satan is the main enemy. He is the enemy of all mankind. Right. People look at my family enemy, but guess what? If the enemy using them, they gonna be your enemy. So who's using them to come against you? Satan. You know, because they had God in them, they won't be doing you like that. There'll be too much love around them to even think about hurting you. But if anybody just keep coming at you like that, that's the enemy. Because what's in their spirit? Come on. People that had the Holy Spirit in them. Some people separate themselves from God.
Right. Right.
And they don't like what God wants. They don't. And I started to see that in a lot of people. Even people don't even think I'm qualified to do this. If people inbox, I create my own flyers for what I do, you know, and stuff. So all of a sudden, I drop in the comments, somebody say, oh, what makes you think you can do this? A guy told me that he wrote, what makes you qualified to do this? Guys used to hit me up with negative, they call me B words. I got called it yesterday. I looked at my I said, look at this. This dude said, why are you talking against men and you a man? You a B word. I said, have a blessed day. That's all I said. Right. You cut me out for nothing? I said, so I'm a man. I ain't supposed to uplift women. I'm supposed to just uplift guys. Right. I even had guys on my TikTok platform saying, you need to make your platform black men only. You don't need to let these women come up and speak on your platform. It's supposed to be the brothers. I said,
this bad.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the brothers. So I'm thinking like, so you telling me that I'm supposed to be only men only, and women supposed to suffer, and I'm supposed to uplift y'all? I said, I correct both sides. I balance on both sides now. Some stuff you do wrong, some stuff you do. But even though I balance it, sometimes the enemy gonna use who's hurt the most.
Right.
Because he knows they are not strong enough to really just see what you're saying, Jamal. They're not. And they know, look how great, man, you're married, you got kids, you showing an example. They don't even believe you real. Some people don't think I'm just this. They don't think I'm real. How you know this? How you know that? I say, you know what? I've been through a lot. I watch people. I observe people. Most likely in my life, I hung around old people. Right. I hung around 60, 70, 50. I used to party hole in the wall at 22. Ooh. Me wearing a suit. Just like I'm 40 years old at 22. I used to sit around, hang around blues. I love blues all day long. I love it. So I used to hear my mama play it. You know, Tyrone Davis and Johnny Taylor, Barry White, Temptation and them, you know, Johnny Gill, Gerald Levert, Keith Sweat. I grew up on that. I love it. So when I started just
how old are you?
39.
Okay, go ahead.
So I just hung around them and I started liking different things. Right. So I was different than everybody. So I knew that if certain people that wasn't on my level, I knew that they were gonna lead me the wrong way. So I don't hang around a lot of guys. It ain't that I hang around mature people. Right. Even guys that are mature and they got their head on right. I don't hang around all guys because I know what they do. I tried that. I hung around friends before, disrespected my wife, and then it got bad. So after that, I cut everybody off, and that showed me a lot. Because I can sit in my car and be at peace. I don't need to ride nobody in my car. God gave me that peace of mind. And God gave that peace of mind where you don't need people around you to make you feel validated. God already validated me. God already stamped the seal on me. This is you. I gave my child this. And so people said, you ain't qualified for this. God qualified me for that.
Right.
But in the end, when this world is over with, who I got to answer to? Who got my life in their hand?
That's it.
Who got eternity in their hand? This flesh gonna die. The spirit forever. So you think I'm finna go out here and mess up here and go somewhere bad? Because whatever I do here, it's gonna be talked about up there. And he ain't gonna miss nothing. He recording your whole life like you watching a movie. He's directing it. Okay, I'm gonna direct your path. But it's up to you to make your change in character. I gave you a character. I gave you a position. But if you want to change it, then that's on you. But don't act brand new when I bring it to you. So I know a lot of obstacles I had to go through. You know, I'm a cancer survivor. 2016, I had stage 4 cancer. I went through 3 rounds of chemo and radiation. You know, it brought me down for a little moment. That was in 2016. In 2017, God, I was healed. I ain't need no blood transfusion. I didn't need no white. My blood cell count was 100%. My blood was 100%. I didn't need nothing else, but I needed God most of all. I had my wife's support system, my mom, I had my pastor. You know, I had one friend on Facebook being support because nobody didn't know me. I'm just an average guy. Right. But then I go back and put that testimony out. People like, I couldn't believe it. You know, but God just put me, I'm in the storm. God, I can put the testimony in, anybody. This is how it was. You know, so if I didn't walk with God, want me to, the devil would have had hands on me, and I wouldn't even be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't even be here talking to
Yeah.
y'all. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even think about this stuff. There's a point in time when I wasn't thinking about that, but then I sat down one day and said, you know what, I got something to say, and that's when I started talking.
Right.
And when I started talking, it got deeper and deeper and better and better. So now this is where I'm at right now.
Right. And we're glad about it. And a million people who follow you are
Man, thank you.
glad about it too. Because you think about it, if you never answered that call, think about all of these people who would have never gained what they need to gain, get the things that they need to get, be able to move like they need to move, had you set on your gifting. And so,
Right.
what I like to do is at the end of my show, I love to have my guests to come back for front and center. You'll be on the screen by yourself and encourage people. So, what I would like for you today, I would like for you to talk to that person that's afraid to move, that's afraid to step out and do the things that they need to do because of how they feel they will be viewed by man. I want you to encourage those people to get outside of that and do what God has called them to do. And when you get through, I'll come back on with you.
Right. I want to tell my people this. There's a lot of things in life I said I couldn't do because I let people discourage me. Cause don't people seen something in me that they seen the worst in me. God seen the best in me. And when God seen the best in me, he knew I had to get away from certain people that was gonna pull me back. You know, and a lot of time I sat back and said, I ain't gonna make that video. I ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna step that way. Because I let too many people get in my head and tell me what I couldn't do. So you let that stuff build up in your head, they plant them bad seeds in your head, it'll grow. It'll be rooted in your mind. It'll be rooted in your spirit. So why you think so many people can't go nowhere? Because people they thought loved them told them that you better not do that. I know somebody that failed. I know somebody, but that somebody ain't me. That somebody ain't me. I'm somebody God want me to be. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't got my life together, that means I need to mold myself up. I need to remove some things away from my spirit that's stopping me from being the best me. You know? Because when you plant flowers, they got to be taken care of, right? When God plants you, he going to take care of you. Even though it's storming, the wind is blowing, the flowers still going to bloom. The grass going to grow through every storm because that grass got a purpose. And God is the soul to make you grow. God gonna bless you with a gift. That's that water. God gonna shine on you. That's that sun. That's how you build yourself up. You know. And when God try to pull you somewhere, don't let nobody in your relationship. Don't let nobody in your family. I don't care if it's mama or daddy. Just because it's mama or dad don't mean they can't tell you nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? They can be haters too. Oh, you can be grandma can be a hater. Cousin, sister, brother can be a hater. But get what? God love you enough to give you that. Why you think God gave it to you? And you can be a painter, you can be a singer or hip hop artist, but do it how to glorify God. Don't glorify man, because that's what man won't. You know what I'm saying? Because God gonna build you up to make the income. God gonna build you up to build your name up. So the ones that want to hear you, they gonna come. They gonna receive it. They gonna get it. So when I started speaking my message, I wasn't afraid to say certain things because that was wrong with the world. That was wrong with this generation. People scared to tell them what they need to tell them to help them be better than what they are right now. Because how can we build each other and we ain't ready to lay the foundation down and ready to put the brick down, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't ready to put the mirror up so we can see the reflection of ourselves. Because when you look in the mirror every day before you get dressed, you make sure you're right. So God, I want you to look at yourself. Make sure you're right before I put you out there in this world. Make sure you're right before you get on stage. Make sure you're right before you open your mouth, before you step out, before you get in your car, before you go to work. You make sure you're dressed up for your job. Well, God got a job for you. We all got to be dressed for the occasion. So this is the thing we got right here. We got to dress up. We dressed up. We got the gift. God dresses up in the gift. Okay, now don't let the flesh fool you that you got to be something else just to get this kind of money. Oh, God, all things work together. You know what I'm saying? For those who love God. You know what I'm saying? Called according to his purpose. So when you call to God's purpose, God gonna make sure it works out. Even though 1,000 people can unfollow you. But God said, I got 10,000 more that really need to see you. I got 100,000 more that's crying right now. They need to hear this. It don't matter if they and it said you can't do it. God said you can do more than this. All you gotta do is step out on faith. Sometimes we gotta climb that ladder. Sometimes you got to climb that ladder. The ladder can be so high. But somebody said, you may fall, but guess what? Well, my father, he can hold me up and keep me strong. And my mind focus on going up. I ain't worried about falling down. See, this is the reason why a lot of people fall, because they worry about how hard they're going to fall if they try. How hard they going to fall if they step up. How hard they going to fall if they jump out there and start. So right now, don't break yourself apart for people that can't put you together when you break yourself to pieces. Because when you fall down at your worst, you at your worst moment, you're going to find out how many people love you and hate you. And half of the time, more of them going to hate you. And they going to break you and say, I told you so. But guess what? God said, I keep pushing, I keep moving. And when I keep moving, sometimes the car don't want to crank sometimes. And then all of a sudden, you sit there and wait for a minute. Sometimes the car needs you for it to crank. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need God for to crank us up when we losing power, when we losing faith. We need God to crank us up, and we need that word. I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. We really need that. God didn't give me a spirit of fear. We really need that spirit of strength right now. We don't need to be scared of nothing. We ain't scared of no cat big. I don't care how big the storm is. Me and my wife drove down here to the beach of Biloxi. There was a storm coming. My wife said, I'm scared. I said, you got to keep going. Just keep going through it. The cloud looked bad. I said, keep going through it. And then the wind and rain come. I said, I start praying. I said, we go through it. Keep going through it. Sometimes you can't see where God going to take you with, but I promise you, you're going to get to that finish line. And we got through there. And when the rain was over, we started to see the clouds break. I said, see there, God can take you through the storm when you can't even see nothing for yourself. And God brought us right through it. So God will bring you through the storm, even though it get cloudy and dark outside. God got a sunshine ready to shine on you. So God can lead you through your journey to your path that he got made for you. And that's what I want to tell y'all.
Whew. I was busy running around the studio while you was.
Amen. That's it. We was in the storm for real.
Huh?
We was in the storm for real. Rain and Hattiesburg ran straight through it. Like I seen on the map, I said, babe, we gonna hit it head on. And it's a big wall of dark. We thought it was gonna be a tornado. I said, babe, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. I said, I was scared. I said, you know what? Just keep going. And then it started raining wind. Couldn't see nothing. I said, just keep going. Just drive easy. Wanted to pull over. I said, I was saying something about pull over, but I thought, keep going. And then we kept going before I know it. Slowed down. The rain ceased a little bit. When we got here, everything was peace. Like Jesus said, peace, be still.
That's right.
And it became still. So that's how I know. Sometimes we got to keep pushing. If God want to take you, he going to take you. When God want to save you, he going to save you. Like he just said to the disciples in that ship. It was storming, but Jesus is right there with you every day. When it's storming out here, I can't see. But he right there. What you doubt for? I'm right here. He told Peter, why you doubt? You with little faith. I said, come to me. You know who I am. Walk on this water. If I'm walking and you walking, why are you thinking you're going to fall? If you're doing what I'm doing, that means I gave you the power to move the same way I'm moving. That's why God gave me the tongue to speak. That's what the pastor told me. He said, be careful what you're praying and saying over your family, because it will happen. So when you keep talking wrong things about your family, it's going to happen. He said, pray good things over you. Pray good things on your family. And it's going to happen for you. So God wants to speak good things. Because what defiles a man, what comes out of his mouth. Because what comes out of your mouth came from him. And God judged that heart for what it is.
It's true. Like, Jamal, listen, I just want to thank you for coming on this show tonight. I believe that there are people who are listening now live and those who will go back later on to listen. I believe that you have shared a word in due season. And I believe that you will change the very essence of the people who are listening. You're going to speak to those desolate places of the people who are listening. And I'm asking those of you who are on live, share it, because this word is changing lives. It's already changed lives, and it's going to change even more. So let's make sure we get this out here, guys. You want to hear more from Jamal? Jamal comes on is it Friday? Is it Friday nights? No.
It's Friday at 9 p.m.
Thursday at 9. Thursday at
9 p.m. Right.
Yeah. Thursday nights, 9 p.m., guys, on ICU Radio 97.3. You want to hear more of this good stuff? Go out there and follow him on his social media handles. But you also Can check him out on ICU Radio 97.3, the best in jazz and gospel music. He's going to be on every Thursday. And look at the schedule here. It's Friday, every Friday at 9 p.m. It's every Friday night, guys, 9 p.m. You don't want to miss it. Be sure to go out there. Go out there to our Facebook page, ICU Radio. Hit like and follow that. You'll get the rundown of all of the speakers, all of the radio hosts that will be on the show, when they're going to be on, and what time. You want to catch Jamal Friday, guys. This Friday, 9 p.m. Catch him. You don't want to miss it. Jamal, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure and an honor. I said either 30 minutes to an hour. I'm going to hold true to that. I'm going to give you 5 minutes worth of change. How about that?
Hey, that's it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us inside the Ladiez Room Talk Show, and we'll see you back here next week, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Good night.
Good night.
Step into the Ladiez Room with Clarissa.